Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast. Today we will be revealing our final predictions for the Mega Evolutions that will appear in Pokemon Legends ZA. My name is DustyGogoat. Today I'm also with the LumiosePost.
Hello.
And SoulSilverArt.
What's up?
Lumi, give us the rules.
I think we all have Pokemon that we want to get Megas, and that is not what we're discussing today. We're discussing what Pokemon we think will get Megas, right? Like, obviously, y'all know I'm a Leavanny fan.
Yeah.
I want Leavanny to get a Mega, but I'm going to be talking about Pokemon that I think I can come to a logical conclusion will get a Mega in ZA. Like, for example, this isn't one of mine because I feel this is too easy, but like, oh, Zygarde, because the game's about Zygarde, so Zygarde will get a Mega Evolution. Things like that, right?
Yeah.
That is a valid one, though.
Yeah, that one's probably going to be real.
Sense.
This is a classic truth versus ideals, and today we're talking about the truth. In the trailer for Legends ZA, they did show us that big Mega symbol right at the end of the trailer, and I think we're all under the assumption that not only will old Megas return, but we will in fact receive new Mega Evolutions. So let's get right into this list.
Honestly, should we kick it off by saying, like, how many Megas do we, like, we did not
write
down like 20 or anything, but how many new Megas do you think we will get?
I think, how many are there now? There's about like 50 Megas.
I think it's more
48,
than that.
maybe 70.
I don't think more.
Number of, is it not? You know
So
what? I think you're right.
around-
I think it's 48, but let me see. Number of
so
Mega
I think
Evolutions.
we could see maybe 25.
46.
I think we could see 25 new Mega Evolutions in this game.
46 Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. 48 Mega Evolutions because Charizard and Mewtwo have 2.
Yeah.
50 if you want to count Primal Reversions.
Yeah,
But that's
true.
different.
If
Maybe
you do count
less,
those.
because I don't think Latios and Latias count as a different Pokemon.
Yeah, that is how some of them are, though. I mean, that's how it is. I wouldn't count Primal Reversions because, like, let's say
No, I would count those.
I do personally.
I would
count
100%
them.
count those.
I personally do count them, but for the sake of this topic that we're talking about, like, I feel like Xerneas and Yveltal could get something, but maybe it's not Mega Evolution by name, but it might be like
By function.
Delta Evolution or something. You know what I mean? Like,
And
Like
maybe
them do a Mega Evolution adjacent thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think it's also worth bringing up. We've talked about this many times on the podcast, but I think the way, at least I'm thinking about Mega Evolution in this game, and maybe we disagree, but I think Mega Evolution is going to take a different role mechanically, functionally.
It's a big can of worms.
in previous games, like in the debut game, Pokemon X and Y, you have a Pokemon, it Mega evolves, you battle with it. When you exit the battle, it's back in its base form. We've seen that kind of evolve, right? I think also, Mega Evolutions also required a held item, a specific stone, and we've seen that evolve over time. Where in Pokemon Go, a Pokemon can just be Mega evolved, almost. I think it's like there's like for like a duration of like maybe 6 hours. In Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, you don't need an item. And I think in Legends ZA, we're going to see a new deviation of how, not what Mega Evolution is, but how we interact with it in the game.
Well, adding to that, you also have in Oris, they even changed it up a little bit with now you can fly on Megalodios and Megalodios, so that's outside of battle. Mega Rayquaza is introduced, and this is a Pokemon that has to know a move to be able to Mega Evolve instead of holding an item.
Yeah.
And then also, there is the fact, too, that the reason this topic is so important, too, is because Legends Arceus did not have held items. Legends Arceus did not have abilities. So, and it isn't battle focused, you know, that's kind of on the back burner. So it stands to reason that while this is only our second Legends game, so we can't really identify a pattern, it stands to reason that, like, okay, well, if those things are going to carry over from Legends Arceus, they kind of have to change. You can't advertise there being new Mega Evolutions for me to use them in the, 2 battles in the game, you know?
Fully agree. But that's a whole nother topic. You know, it's like, who knows what they are actually.
But what's the number y'all are thinking then with there being 48 Mega Evolutions?
So this is a kind of another topic, but it's like, do we have other things other than Megas? So if we don't have other things other than Megas,
I think we don't.
I think we don't either, but I don't know. I'm hoping this is my dream is that we have.
Can you explain what you mean by that? What do you mean other things?
Like regional forms,
Sure,
evolutions.
I thought you meant primal.
Regional evolutions.
No.
You just etc.
New designs, because the way we look at it is we look at it as like, oh, there's mega evolutions. But the way Game Freak looks at it is, I am paying this artist to design X amount of designs. You know.
Yeah.
So, whether those designs are mega evolutions, regional forms, whatever. But, like, obviously, if there's regional forms, if there's evolutions, then that's, and they're doing 30, let's say, designs for this game. Okay, well, if they're doing 30 designs, some of them are megas, some of them are regional evolutions, some of them are regional variants. But then if they're doing just megas, well, then obviously all 30 of those are megas.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, there should be like 30 megas, but if there's other forms, then I would, or other evolutions. My dream is that we get like, I don't know, like 20 megas and then like 5 proper evolutions. That's what I'm hoping for. Because this is kind of off topic, but I was thinking about it and I'm like, in Legends Arceus, all of the ride Pokemon are new Pokemon. Like, not new, all of them. I'm saying like new designs, okay? Not new evolutions. But it just... They have to be something new. You're not going to want to just get on a Gogoat again and ride around. Maybe, yeah. I mean,
I would like that.
Sure.
Yes, would like that.
It's not terrible. It's just that I'm thinking like how Game Freak kind of thinks. And it's like, okay, let's
If we were writing a Stantler, that would be very underwhelming. If we were, I totally get you. If we were riding a Whalmer, not as cool as a new Pokemon called Basculegion, right?
Yeah. So for me, it's like
if they would like to ride a Whalmer.
I know, me too.
Yeah, it would be fun. If they leave Mega Evolution the way that it is, and we still need ride Pokemon, then I'm hoping for like evolutions. Who cares if there's megas and evolutions at the same time? Like a proper evolution is still different, and I think I'm hoping for that. That's my dream. Right now. Because that will make it so much better for me.
No, yeah,
megas, I can go into detail about how megas are kind of lame for longevity purposes.
I mean, you can share the opinion for new listeners.
The biggest thing,
because I disagree
is
with
that
you.
if we but in case you disagree or they disagree,
just briefly.
Okay,
we don't need to have a 30-minute discussion about it.
But
we don't want another Alolan Raichu.
Just state your opinion. Yeah.
It's the smallest little thing, and it is just that if you get like, let's say 30 megas, you can only use 1 per battle, bro. Like, so if you have a whole team of old Pokemon that you can use right now in Scarlet and Violet, like you could have that same team. And the only difference is you can Mega Evolve one of them per battle, whichever, whenever.
Yeah, but it's
to me, it's
battle.
like
that's not crazy. Most battles
it is crazy because
most battles you're only using 1 Pokemon to battle with.
I don't. I like swap.
I think you're actually targeting the wrong problem with it, and that is that they are locked to Mega Evolution games, right? Mega Lucario, you have not gotten to play with since you played Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. You know what I mean? And
I can get on board with that.
A long time ago. But, like, I guess unless you play the spin-off games like Pokemon Go and all. But, like, so that's the thing is if you're going to, especially if the only new thing in this game is Mega Evolutions, if you're going to introduce 30 new Mega Evolutions, then, obviously people are going to fall in love with these Mega Evolutions. And for someone out there, Dusty, you mentioned a while back, your nephew's favorite Pokemon, one of his favorite Pokemon is Gigantamax Dreadnought.
Yep.
Well, guess what? You can't play with Gigantamax Dreadnought except for 1 game as of right now.
He's never even played it. I don't think he's even played a Pokemon game.
Right, but like if you are, I say that to say these forms do become people, even if it is just younger kids,
no, absolutely.
It does become their favorite Pokemon. So if your favorite Pokemon is Mega Medicham, then you can only use Mega Medicham in a game. So it is there is something kind of bittersweet about, sure, I love these new designs, but am I going to get to even play with them in Gen 10? Am I going to get to play with them in the game after that?
I'm more like, am I even going to get to play with them?
Yeah, that's true too.
I'm more like, am I even going to get to play with them in this game? Like, so there's like a bunch of these megas and I want to use them all, but like, okay, I used this Mega Sableye like in one battle because I want to use these other ones as well. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just...
But then the next battle, you can use whatever you want. I don't know. Yeah, I get
it's just one, though.
All right, so your prediction is what,
we gotta move
30 Mega Evolutions?
Yeah.
No,
Your Soul?
if
Or do
they're
you
like,
think it'll be 20 with some regional
And what do you
stuff?
think? Not what do you want?
Yeah, we're doing what we think.
I would say around the same as Legends Arceus then, so like 28
I
or
think that
something.
was 20-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
what
fine.
about you, Dusty?
I think 25 feels like a good number. In Legends
That's where I'm
Arceus,
at,
there's
too.
about 28, I think, new designs and everything. So 25 feels like a pretty good number. What do I think's going to happen? I am kind of conflicted. There's a part of me that really feels like I think Game Freak is going to want to push these megas to make them specific for the Legends game, to almost tie them to Legends games going forward. There's a part of me that feels like that. I don't really know if that's actually going to be the case, but it feels, I don't know. I guess if we're going to the Kalos region, megas must be incorporated. That's probably what that is, right?
It is weird because it's like, I don't know if you guys remember, but I've always speculated from long ago that the Legends games would be like the regional forms games.
Yeah, I
I'm
know. I
like,
felt that way too. They feel more specific to the Legends game, or at least the one Legends games
well,
that we have.
yeah, we were. It was just like, okay, so they're not going to do regional forms in the mainline game or the mainline. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
The main generation games anymore, and they're going to save it for Legends. But instead, they did this, and like, we don't know if we're getting regional forms now.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think we will get some regional forms, but I do feel
Right.
like the
Not
megas.
confident.
No, I think the play is, I'm with you, Dusty, on like 25 new megas, because that was around the same amount in Legends Arceus.
Okay.
Like not new megas, but new designs in Legends Arceus. But I think the play right now is there's a lot of skepticism on if regional variants will be a thing going forward, because Scarlet and Violet had so few.
Yeah.
So I think the play is you don't have any regional variants in Legends EA, so you make everyone go, oh, okay, well, regional variants might really be dead. And then it's a selling point for Gen
Sure.
10, because you're like, boom, here's your regional whatever,
Yeah.
you know?
The regional
And it's
forms.
exciting again because it's something that
Yeah.
we thought might have been dead.
Yeah.
They do that. It's true. And it works because people get tired of things too. You know, it's dumb, but it's true.
Like, think about when they announced Cleavor. Or Weird Ear. Wait, Stantler can evolve? They
Yeah.
haven't done that since, like, Gen 4, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
They kind of did the same thing with like a lot of Pokemon, a lot of evolutions in Gen 9 as well. So they could have just saved it for that. Anyways, I think the megas returning are exciting, but my biggest point is I think we're going to be able to interact with them in different ways. And what that might be is you can mega evolve anything and you can interact with it in the overworld, right?
Let's hope.
But I think there's one more thing. There's one more little asterisk on mega evolutions in Pokemon Legends ZA. And to me, what I'm kind of predicting is that I think there'll be a new type of mega evolution. Not primal, but I think I don't know. I could see there being regular
possible.
mega evolutions, but I could
Definitely
see there also
possible.
being like, what I've seen on Twitter is like Z Mega or Mega Z, right? We have Mega X, Mega Y. Why is there not? Maybe there's a Mega Z and it's tied to Zygarde, right? I think they could do something similar to that, and then all of these new megas are retconned in this way, where they're only available now in Legends ZA because of this new type of mega evolution. And maybe there's Z forms, and maybe there's A forms, right?
It does go back to that whole thing of like the megas being different, and I do think there could be a whole, because there's got to be a gimmick in this game too, right? Like there's got to be something else other than just megas. There's going to be a new gimmick, whatever. If it doesn't give us forms or whatever, that's fine. But like in Legends Arceus, we had the strong style and whatever agile style. So there's got to be something, and maybe it affects the megas of this region.
You can really tell how you feel about strong and agile style by the way you presented that.
because it was nothing.
It wasn't. I thought honestly it was a lot of fun.
You could tell.
I thought it was a
think
lot of
it's
fun.
nothing. He went by the strong style and the whatever the other one was, agile style. Like he said it like annoyed that it exists.
It was pretty fun. I don't know. I don't get the same vibes. I do think we could get
I
something
didn't
like
hate it, just pointless.
primal reversion. Like you said, Soul. Maybe these are specific to Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, whatever the other. If we get another legendary, maybe whatever that is. But anyways, I think all of this matters because my list is based off of one specific thing. It has nothing to do with maybe a wild card thing if there's like Mega Z's or Mega A's or whatever. if there's a new type of Mega introduced, like a Mega Z, it's I'm putting my hands up because I can't predict that. But based on so that's what that is. And so let's get into our list. That's enough setup. How many are we going to be discussing
what
today?
they want.
I think we're going to have about 20 megas to discuss today. Because I have
maybe more.
Because I have more than 5.
I have more than 5 as well. One of mine is kind of like a multiple. 2 of mine are like a multiple in one, though.
All right, cool. And I guess also just for setup for listeners, if you are new, if maybe you haven't played a game with Mega Evolution, a Mega Evolution, I think in the games will give an increase in stats by about 100 points. Pokemon can get new abilities. They can also get new types. They can get new. I think that's maybe
designs, obviously.
Yeah, and then a new design as well.
It can only be used once per battle.
No, we don't know that. That might not be the case.
Oh, you're saying I was just giving an overview of Mega.
Oh, sure. But I mean,
Sure.
I think what? Yeah, you're right. Historically, it's been 1 per battle, but I think that could change. I think. So, Lumi, you want to go first?
Sure. I'll start with one that I think is kind of, I wouldn't say obvious per se, but I think kind of a lot of people are expecting it. Go ahead and get this out of the way.
Sure.
By the way, for mine, I don't know if y'all did this. It's fine if you didn't, but I like competitive stuff. So I did like try to think of
that's cool.
typings and abilities for mine. But I have the Kalos starters. Greninja, Delphox, and Chestnut.
Bro, I was going to
put that too, and then I was like, why would we even put that? Of course they're gonna get started.
I was literally gonna say, are we counting the starters?
Like, I'm assuming I knew you would say it.
The comments will be like, it's an episode on who you think will get it, and none of you said the Kalos starters.
The Kalos starters will get
megas.
The Kalos starters will get megas.
You have more though than 5, so this is fine. Like,
that's your 3 slots.
Like I said, this is my 3. Like, I have 3 in 1. This is really like, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I have 8. But of those 8, one of those is actually the 3 Kalos starters.
Yeah. Okay.
Blanket statement. The Kalos starters have a very high possibility of getting Mega Evolution.
It's funny. I put down like reasons next to all of mine. Like I put down, this Pokemon because this. But these I just put like Kalos starters. I didn't even explain it. Like, but
it makes sense.
But there is, if I can go a little bit further into it. Not only is there the fact that they're the Kalos starters, but also there was the Ash Greninja erasure incident, right? Where for those who don't know, to very briefly explain. Ash Greninja was like retconned out of the anime, like they and the games. Now if you have your Battle Bond Greninja, Battle Bond works similar to Moxie, and it is not like it does not activate a change into the Ash Greninja form. And even the anime did this in Gen 8, where there were flashbacks to scenes where Greninja was in his Ash Greninja form, but they showed it in its regular Greninja form. So like they basically retconned it out of existence. There was even an episode where Greninja returned, and they never did the Ash Greninja thing in it. So it's suspicious, and like the only way to me it makes sense is like why they would even do that is if they're like, hey, we want, because that's something that we know from like the Terra League, is that Pokemon cares a lot about, this isn't a spoiler, by the way, for those listening. This is just kind of a development thing. Pokemon cares a lot about what the anime is doing and how that will affect things that are happening in the games. Like they'll straight up like ask them, hey, can you not use this because we're doing this with the games? Or hey, can you make sure you use this Pokemon because this Pokemon's special to our games, or whatever it may be.
That was kind of proven in the data breach, the Terra League.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think I could totally see them like having told the anime, hey, if you're going to bring back Ash's Greninja, we'd really appreciate you not using that form because he's about to get a Mega Evolution soon. You know, I could see that being the case. I put for my like predictions on here. I think they'll keep the same typings: Water Dark, Fire Psychic, Grass Fighting. I did think it would be cool if I put for Greninja that maybe he gets Protean as an ability, or I could see him maybe getting Battle Bond as his Mega Evolution ability as kind of a fun nod to the Battle Bond thing. and it is a pretty good ability. And then I said for Delphox, and maybe this is Copium, but Psychic Surge. It'd be cool to get Delphox having Psychic Surge.
What
And
does
would
that
make
do?
Delphox that sets up psychic terrain
Sure.
upon hitting the field.
Yeah.
This and then
art...
for Chestnut, I
sure,
put Stamina because I think that would be just kind of, it's a bulky mon, and Stamina, whenever you get hit by a move, your defense rises. I just think that would be cool. And Grass Fighting's kind of a bad typing, and I think Stamina could kind of give them an edge.
Do you think they could get new typings? I think they're eligible for new typings.
I think they could. I kind of don't want them to, if I'm honest.
I don't think they will. I really don't. I think if they get megas, they will keep the same types. Also, most megas do keep their same types. It's like, it's not as common as regional forms to change.
Okay.
Obviously, regional forms change types completely. But
it does happen. Like Charizard, you know, swaps the flying for the dragon. Sceptile picks up the dragon.
Charizard's a bad example.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there is Sceptile too. He picked up the dragon typing. But I just feel like Water Dark, Fire Psychic, Grass Fighting, they're already cool. They have, like, because with Charizard, flying just kind of feels, I don't mean this ugly, but bland, right? Because like, oh, it's flying because it has wings.
You're gonna hurt its feelings, dude.
It's, you know what I mean? Like, but whereas Water Dark, there's like, that's an element of Greninja. Does that make sense what I'm trying to communicate?
No, I know what you're saying. Yes.
I would just say that the whole thing about mega evolutions is like them evolving to like the next their limits, you know? So it's like they want to build off of what they already have.
Right.
So like, you know, like obviously it would be like, so Greninja's Water Dark, it's like the maximum of Water Dark is happening. So I think they only change when it's like something like, wow, this would be cooler or better, and you know, who knows. But yeah, I would say a lot about this Ondu region artwork is incredible. The Chestnut one is possibly my favorite Mega Chestnut I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like if this happened, I'd be like, what? I need Chestnut.
I'm a big fan of the Greninja one myself.
So I was going to say
amazing.
The Greninja. So I think something that I'm also thinking about with these Mega Evolutions. So you just said it, where it's like the creators need to design something that depicts the maximum version of whatever the Pokemon's design and power is. And I think that can be difficult to do sometimes. I think a lot of Pokemon maybe just don't even... It's like, I think for a lot of Mega Evolutions, it ends up being a little bit gratuitous to like just give the Pokemon more spikes or a beard or whatever, right? Like it just ends up being...
it's Super Saiyan Pokemon.
Yeah. I think these are very tasteful. What we're showing on the screen right now by Ondu Region. This is a friend of the show, and this Greninja one is great because it basically takes the idea of a water shuriken and turns it into an entire body double, right? Like that feels like a obvious progression, and I think also as a callback to what you're saying, Lumi, with the Battle Bond ability, right? It's like it's like Parental Bond, right? Kangaskhan's Mega Kangaskhan's ability, Parental Bond, where it attacks almost twice in the same for every attack. So I think something like this feels so natural for Greninja. You got a Chestnut that's clad in iron armor. It's a paladin. Again, that makes so much sense. I love the body proportions here. And this Delphox, the exposure of the legs and how it's like it's, what do you call it? Like the dress or the cape almost actually looks more like a cape. Yeah, the cloak just gives the Pokemon a lot more motility. And I love that its wand turns into a staff that with the eye of Sauron. These are epic.
These are solid. I'm honestly a little upset you showed these purely because, like, you know, sometimes you have like the Dunsparce, right? Where you have a fan design that's so good, and then you get the final thing, and so you're a little let down by it. Yeah,
the eye of
these will be the things that let down the.
No, absolutely. I did a full review of these on
so thank you, Ondu Region, for ruining Z8.
I know these are so gorgeous. I did a full review of these Pokemon on my channel earlier in the year. They're so good.
You know what I have to say about that though is like, no matter what, the fans always love what comes from Game Freak more than anything. It's the craziest thing.
Because it becomes.
It's canon, so you can get attached.
Yeah,
it's weird, but
you
like
can get the plushie, you can get the toy.
Yeah, I guess that's what it has to do with it. It's just like, man, the Fakemon never compare, but then sometimes I'm like, this is actually really better than what we got. But
yeah,
people will die on the hill of like, this is the official one is better, and I'm like, but not really though. These are incredible.
Even like the shiny black color as like a callback to Greninja's shiny is really
It's
cool.
so fan service, but it's incredible at the same time. You know, like
I mean, is it fan service? I mean, that's kind
it
of
is because the shiny's so good.
Also,
I do think
Greninja
it's
is
quite
eligible.
possible that they try to reference Ash Greninja in the design.
I think almost 100% it will be like that, and that makes me hurt inside a little bit because I don't really like Ash Greninja as much.
Yeah,
and I don't like that it looks like Ash even.
I don't like
they'll
that either.
remove that aspect of it though. I think
I hope.
But I think if you remove, I think Lumi, if you remove the Ash part, then it's just a Greninja.
Yeah.
No, I mean things like it should still have the water shuriken. Like that's
doesn't it normally have that?
Sickest thing I've ever. Ash Greninja does, yeah.
Oh, the normal Ash. I mean, the normal Greninja.
The normal
doesn't have
Greninja does not have a water shuriken on its back.
Oh,
Ash
I see.
Greninja
The water
has like
one.
a shuriken made of water that he grabs off his back and throws.
Yeah, that's
the
cool.
It's the most epic thing ever.
That's cool. Yeah.
Like even if you just have that,
I just don't like the
shuriken,
hair.
Nothing else.
Yeah,
it's a nod,
it's
and
that.
fans will pick up. Oh, like Ash Greninja. You know.
Can you look up Ash Greninja really quick? I'll tell you every little detail. The hair thing that you're talking about, and like the little eye things. I think if I'm remembering correctly, it's just like it's a little too much. Like on the nose, it's a little too on the nose. Yeah, it's the hair. That's what I mean.
They'll remove the Ash aspects of it. I think
it's like has Ash hair.
They're not going to want
You're not going to find it on
their
official.
Pokemon to be like an overt reference to a character that at this point has been retired for 3 years.
Dude, I want Ash.
If they just get rid of the
I want
black
Liko Greninja.
That's what they'll do. They'll
like
do
Frigatito.
Roy Greninja. It'll be
that would be cooler. I don't know. The
will
red
be
stripe.
solid. Replace the black with white.
Yeah, I don't like
It's
the red
black
stripe.
Fur
Yeah,
thing.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
red
why does the
stripe.
frog have fur?
I'm with you there. But seriously, if they remove everything about this and just do the water shuriken, or honestly, just the red line on its face.
Yeah.
And you have what you need where fans will go, oh, that's a reference to Ash Greninja, but it still cannot look like
You know, I
Ash,
kind of
you know?
love the. Here's the thing. I kind of love the concept of like these trainer Pokemon fusion. That is actually a through line concept that has been present throughout Pokemon, but like never until this moment was really like manifested, or we never actually got a true fusion like this.
I also have to say that
it's cool.
This like perfectly captures Ash. Like it looks like Ash.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did it.
They did a good
They
job.
did it.
They did a really good job.
It's just the red. It's the red and black.
But I just don't think it would work now. And also the thing is too, if you're going to be debuting, if Greninja's getting a Mega Evolution alongside Delphox and Chestnut, Delphox and Chestnut will have these brand new designs. And so I think that while they may nod to Ash Greninja, they will want it to be different enough from Ash Greninja that it feels like a new design.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't feel like I'm playing with something that I've already played with.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Anyway,
that's true.
That's a lot of time on them, but they're probably going to
important.
get something. Yeah, they're probably going to get something. So.
I took the hit and put them down so you two didn't have to.
No, I appreciate that.
Actually, it would have been easier for me to put them down.
I guess.
But yeah, it is what it is. Here we are. Anything else you could say about them? I had an idea, but I forget now. So well.
Who else would you pick? What was the one on your list?
Oh, I picked a lot of Kalos Pokemon actually because I just feel like it's gonna be going back to Kalos, like it's gonna be Kalos focused. No,
not necessarily.
I don't know. I was actually wanted to bring this question up. I know we're like going all over the place, but like how many Gen 3 ones do you think will be there? Because like Gen 3,
I think a lot.
I don't know. Oras just like destroyed Gen 3.
What do you mean Gen 3? You mean like
Megas.
How many new ones from Gen 3, or do you mean like how many Megas from Gen 3 will be in this game?
No, new ones.
New ones, okay.
How many new Hoenn Mega Evolutions will?
If you bring up a list of all the Mega Evolutions, which you kind of do,
these are all the Gen 3.
There's a lot of Hoenn.
There's so many.
All the
Hoenn
best ones are from Hoenn.
Because
I disagree, sir. Gallade's right there.
Yeah, Gallade is amazing.
Yeah, but you got Pidgeot, you got Beedrill,
But you
Steelix,
said something the other day, Lumi, where you like Sinnoh got a lot, but I'm like, I feel like Hoenn got the most, and like, does that mean that there? Yeah, does that mean that there won't be any Hoenn ones? You know what I mean? Like, will they focus on other generations like Gen 6?
I think if we're thinking about this like regional forms, which I know they're not, but the mentality is when you bring in foreign Pokemon to the region that you're playing in, that's when you get regional forms, right? You don't take Scatterbug and put it in Lumio City and it becomes a different Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
I think the Mega Evolution Stones are different because essentially the Pokemon is what it is until it's subjected to a Mega Evolution Stone, and then it can become something special. So that's where it's like, oh, maybe Zygarde's been digging, and we find a lot of stones that were not previously, discovered. And then you can make anything, give anything a new form. But I kind of like the idea of just like, yeah, maybe we get 6, 7 new Kalos Pokemon to get Megas. And then it's like pick stuff from other regions. Because most of my list, to be honest with you, is from Gen 9.
I think that's an interesting point. I will say I made a note on the top of mine that I literally said, like, I think a large amount of Kalos will get it because we never got Pokemon Z. And so I think they're going to want Kalos to shine here. Like, I think they're going to want to try to convince you to pick up Kalos Pokemon in this game. But I will say I do think that that's something to discuss too, is like their direction with these gimmick forms have changed a lot since Generation 6.
Yeah.
In Gen 6, when they gave us these Megas, they didn't really they gave us one Unova Pokemon, and that was an Oris. It wasn't even an X and Y. And they gave us one Kalos Pokemon. That was for a mythical, so it was like a special case.
Yeah.
And that was because they were like, these are new Pokemon. Let's not focus on them. Let's give attention to older Pokemon. But since then, like with Gigantamax forms and even Z moves, a lot of the exclusive Z moves were given to Gen 7 Pokemon. And a lot of the Gigantamax form were given to Gen 8 Pokemon. So I think their direction has changed now, where they no longer think, oh, let's give attention to the old, and the new can't have anything new because they are new themselves,
Can I just say, I never realized it, but Lopunny is the representative of Gen 4 in terms of Mega Evolution. What a Pokemon.
I mean, so is Gallade.
Yeah, but Gallade is from Ralts,
Yeah, but it's still Gen 4.
Well, there's also Abomasnow and Lucario. I would say Lucario.
Oh, yeah, true.
Okay, no, that's a good point. I was looking at the Hoenn list. All right, yeah.
And Garchomp. Yeah, I forgot about Garchomp.
Okay,
I try to forget that.
That makes me feel
Everyone
better.
tries to forget about Garchomp.
That makes me feel better. Yeah, so
that's another thing. Like, how many of these are we going to be like, let's forget about it? I don't know.
A lot of them,
It's
man. But most Pokemon end up being like that. So I think if I could just cut you all off, we're going to get the Kalos Megas, the Kalos starter Megas, that makes sense. And then if we look at like what are the most iconic Kalos Pokemon?
You're gonna take all of mine if you do.
Yeah,
this.
maybe I'm just gonna scatter.
I'm just gonna scatter them, and then you guys tell me what actually deserves to be it. Because I think there's just some obvious.
Well, we're not talking about what deserves to be it. We're trying to come up with logical conclusions on why this will be it.
So what's the next pick?
Vivion's
What's
not
the next
on my
pick?
list, but Soul needs to go.
So I was saying that Kalos makes a lot of sense. So a lot of mine will probably be from Kalos.
Yeah.
And since you have it right there, I'm just gonna say one of mine was Talonflame.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I just think that a regional bird is a classic. It needs to happen. Like,
and it was such a monster.
Even if it's Staraptor or what was another one? Swellow? Is Swellow one?
On Pheasant.
No, not on Pheasant.
Dude, this thing looks like a fighter jet. Like, I could see this.
It's incredible.
I could see you just.
The only reason I picked Gen 6 one is because it's Gen 6. But my what I have written down is a regional bird. So I think that a regional bird should get one.
Sure.
But I think that Talonflame is the most likely candidate because
I could totally see it, man.
You do already have Pidgeot though.
We do.
Yeah. That's a good reason to why it should be another one. I think there should be another regional bird or bird,
No, I could see this getting a Mega 100%.
I'm just piggybacking on it because you said it too. But I do have Talonflame as well.
I'm sure there'll be overlap.
Because not only is it a Kalosmon, it's a popular Kalosmon. I think there's
Ash
more to
one,
do with
right?
the design because so one of its inspirations is it's based on a flaming arrow. So there's more you can go with that direction. And then also too, it's kind of prominent in the ZA trailer. So if you want,
that's what I was gonna say next. Yeah, I was gonna say that next is that it's kind of the focus of the end of the ZA trailer that we have, and I think there's a lot going on there with that. I think it's very.
It's the last mon you see before you see the Mega Evolution logo.
And Game Freak like to hint stuff, you know.
Yeah.
They like to throw a little.
But I put for an
here
ability that it would get, it would stay fire flying, and I put that it would have Gale Wings still, like its hidden ability. Or I could see it getting Wind Rider, which is what Brambleghast has, where when it's hit by a wind move or it has Tailwind, its attack raises.
Yeah.
That would be pretty broken. Because you think what you can do is like I'm trying to think of the competitive edge on this. If it has Gale Wings, your base Talonflame, not Mega Evolved, has Gale Wings, you can do Tailwind turn 1 and it'll go first. And then you Mega Evolve the next turn and Tailwind set up so your attack rises immediately.
No, I love that.
Dude, that is a gorgeous picture. Oh my gosh.
I'm loving Talonflame right now.
I really like Talonflame's like official art more than its like in-game model. Well, I love this one. I love this one a lot.
Yeah.
But its modern models are like...
So its dex entries, a lot of its dex entries, I just briefly looked over these. It says it has a powerful kick in a lot of dex entries. It goes really fast, 300 miles per hour, it says. It eats a lot of bird Pokemon, isn't something else. And also, it says firefighters' outfits were made from Talonflame wings because they're so heat-proof, which is cool. And it also talks about, and this is just from the Violet dex entry, which if we're going to be thinking about what Pokemon could get Mega Evolutions, and if we're going to be thinking about what maybe dex entries might be hinting towards something that Game Freak might be thinking about, because they're making these dex entries while Legend ZA is being created. This Violet dex entry says, when it gets excited, its vents spark from the gaps between its feathers. These unburnable feathers are used as fireproof material. And I can imagine this thing, if it's in a power-up stage, actually getting this fiery aura around its body, like a Moltres, right? Which is the symbol of a firebird, right? Mm-hmm. So I could see its design resembling that in some way. But I'm really loving this thing. I think the flying fire type is great.
I think it would stay flying fire for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
but it's art though.
Pokemon would change the flying type. Like
no way around it.
But it's design, like it's the key art though just makes it look like a plane, like a fighter jet, so much.
For sure.
So I could see it getting a lot more structure, similar to Mega Salamence, right?
I'd love if the red became like actual flames.
Yeah.
You should look up a fake one of it.
Coat like it is, but
yeah,
look up a Mega Talonflame.
Because I've seen one that's like incredible. I don't know, maybe it's on to again. I'm gonna freak out, but there's a few that I saw that were like, whoa. I don't know if you'll find it.
Here's one that's a little bit similar.
Cool.
Pokemon gets bigger. It's got fire all over its body.
I think that's a very realistic one too.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I feel like people kind of over-design the megas and they kind of take it to this level that's kind of beyond. Like this, as cool as this is, I feel like it's too dramatic. Like it's beyond what they would do.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's amazing. I would love this.
But yeah, it's a little much. And they add a lot to them, but they don't overcomplicate them, if that makes sense.
Well, and also too, I think like this is a great example of what I'm talking about. That looks like an evolution, not a Mega Evolution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it is now walking around like I think the emphasis
the face is so different.
It still has to look like Talonflame.
I think
this doesn't look like Talonflame.
I think the emphasis of this Pokemon is no longer on its flight. I mean, I guess it is on its kicking ability, but yeah, I think what we're gonna end up, not all these megas need to be so drastic. Is kind of what the point is.
No, there'll be a mix. There'll be ones that are like super drastic, and then ones that are like
Look at Pidgeot. Like honestly, they didn't do a
Pidgeot with more color.
Right. Yeah. And even things like honestly, the most dramatic one I feel like is Charizard X, where it's like does get this big color change.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing of its original color in there at all. But
I don't think we can count
special cases as Charizard.
Yeah, I don't know if we can count the X ones. But
I think you can. I think those are going to show up. I agree. I don't think it's like the default, but
I just mean the design.
They will. Well, I don't know that they will either because I don't. Those were made to be a selling point to get two different versions. But this is a one version game, so it's like, do you do two versions of? Now I could see them going like, okay, well let's give those two version Mega Evolutions a third version. Like, let's give Mega Mewtwo Z, maybe.
Yeah.
But
all right, we have
not
to
on
start
my
cooking
list.
through this list, guys. We've done 2
Yeah,
so
you go.
far.
It's your turn.
So I think I just want to lean into. I think I just want to lean
your
into
list.
all of the Gen 9 Pokemon that I wrote down. I wrote down 5 Gen 9 Pokemon.
I'm curious if you wrote down one of mine, because one of mine's or 2 of mine are from Gen 9.
And I have another 4 just kind of as backup, and they're not necessarily specific to the region, but I feel like I guess they're kind of just things that I would like, which maybe I didn't get the assignment.
Dang it, Dusty! It's always you.
But my biggest,
Oh my
my
God.
biggest thing is though, and this is the first 5 that I wrote down. I think Gen 9 Pokemon are gonna get a highlight because we're still in Gen 9, right?
I could very
and I
much
think
see
there's a
that.
lot of Gen 9 Pokemon that don't feel complete. I think there's a lot of Gen 9 Pokemon that, just.
That goes against what Lumi was saying before, though. But
But that's this
Well,
current generation. You know?
I could see some of it. I like, because I could see them when they're designing Gen 9, maybe even designing these with it in mind that, hey, and we could throw this a Mega Evolution in the next game.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Like I was looking at art for Gen 9 the other day, and it just kind of like warmed my heart. And I just thought, oh my God, like I think these Pokemon should get new forms. I think they deserve to get more love.
3 from Gen 9.
And I didn't
I
write,
agree.
so I didn't write these down, but I think there's a chance the starters could get megas, the Gen 9 starters, which I know Soul doesn't like
That's
them.
wild.
But I
No, but that would be, bro. I don't like them, so anything that we can
Sure,
add
sure,
to them
sure.
would be great.
okay, great. It's another roll of the dice, right?
True. It's like, how can we make them worse?
Yeah.
That'd be like a cool, you know how they do, like, they kind of will have now characters rewarding you for playing other games. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you can do this Darkrai event in Legends Arceus if you've played Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Like, that would be kind of a cool way, is like, they're like, if you transfer in your Skeletors, you cannot catch Fuecoco in
Yeah.
X and Y, but if you
can get
are
the
in
Mega.
Legends ZA, but if you transfer in your Fuecoco and you talk to this NPC, he'll give you a Skeletor Gite or whatever, you know?
Mhm.
And I just think there's a lot of potential. I think there's themes in each of these starters, and this wasn't even on my list. There's themes in each of these starters that could be just like continued. That could be exaggerated in a
Right.
in a final design,
sure.
in a mega design. But
Quackleval almost has a different form.
it does when
Lord.
it's like tails is up, when the
Yeah.
raindrops
It's
are up.
it's like one of those animation. It's like, where do you
Sure.
draw the line at new forms? You know.
I think
would-
even Skeletor stands up to sing. You know,
Yeah.
like that's not
Where
a
do you
mega.
draw the
But
line?
what I could
Yeah.
what I could say is like maybe Game Freak was thinking of, they're like, okay, I know we're bringing megas back. Like, what could it do that feels like a new form, that maybe feels in line with a mega evolution? Because again, we don't know how they're going to play in Legends ZA. So I look at this Pokemon standing up with this new fiery mic, right? As goofy as that is, I like Skeletor. I could see something like this being cemented as more of a true mega form. Yeah,
This is why I was happy to do this this video, because this episode, I like this idea so much.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I would love for them to get something.
It'd be
I'd love
fun,
for
man.
more like recent gens to get more as well.
Yeah,
you
this
know?
is kind of the form
like
Lumi
since
was talking about.
1 through 6 got it. Let's give it, or 1 through 5 really got it.
Yeah,
Let's give it to like 5 through 9 because 5 needs more as well. 'cause
Absolutely.
only ought to know, you know.
dude, this thing was look. He's a Chad, dude. I love Quackleval.
Lord, no,
Look at him.
no.
Soul's favorite Pokemon of all time.
He's ready to stomp your face in.
I'm just block. No, why?
Dancing in ways that evoke faraway places. Southern Kalos.
Like the Callisto.
This Pokemon. That's what I said.
Like
This
Brazil, bro.
This
No.
Pokemon mesmerizes all that it sees, flourishes of its decorative water feathers, slice into its foes. Yeah, so cool.
That's pretty cool that the feathers slice.
Yeah. So basically, what my pick is just
That
like
wasn't your pick?
just like Latios and Latias, I would love a new Mega, and it could share design for Ceruledge and Armarouge.
Oh,
So wait, are
no.
these two-
Not
are these two
share a
picks?
design though.
Potentially.
hold on.
I'm throwing that up as a what do I think is going to happen. I think these two are. I think if they're going to do anything, yeah, I think they could share
Soul
design.
Blades.
I think they should not share a design, but they are also on my list.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do
So
it, But I think they absolutely should. Actually, truthfully, I would want them to have a new regional form because they evolve based on the item, which is created from whatever Pokemon is around it. So it's like you bring a whatever the baby a Charcadet to the Kalos region. Maybe it's picking up Honedge shards or something, and it gets a new form. But if we're talking about Mega Evolution, these things I think these things are becoming fan favorites. You know,
they are fan favorites, especially after that Poketoons.
Exactly.
They look like they could go further. Like they look like they could have Super Saiyan forms. I do think like Latios and Latios are very similar. I think these two are different enough to where they would get separate megas.
Yeah.
But I did also have them on here just to piggyback off you.
Yeah.
Because also too, there are two abilities that exist that are perfect for
what are the
these two
abilities?
Pokemon, and they didn't get it. And I feel like that might be because, like you said, they're making these knowing that they're doing Megas next game. So they go, okay, we're going to give them, Flash Fire, Weak Arm, or whatever. But with this in mind, they will get Megas in the next game, Legends EA.
Yeah.
So that Armarouge can get Mega Launcher and Ceruledge can get Sharpness.
Wow. Yeah, dude. That would be cool. And I think there's also there's like a story here where the Pokemon... What is this? This is the Dex entry for Armarouge and Scarlet version. Armarouge evolves through the use of a set of armor that belonged to a distinguished warrior. This Pokemon is incredibly loyal, right? Clad itself in armor that has been fortified by psychic and fire energy. I think Ceruledge's is, I think, like a dead spirit. Yeah. Lingering resentment of a sword wielder who fell before accomplishing their goal. I think there's a story there that needs to be fulfilled in Mega Evolution, right? Where it's like, the Pokemon is already overcome by that previous soul within it. But what would happen if that goes even further, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I think there's something there that they could actually visually represent in a Mega.
I think they'd be perfect for Megas. I don't know about regional forms, like you said. That's a little crazy to me. But I think them going further is like intense. Would be awesome. I do think that they would be the best, though, for like being a new Eevee or something where we get other forms with
Different
other armor.
forms of them, sure.
Which is so I said regional form. I guess I meant like regional evolution.
You meant split Evos?
Yeah, split Evos is kind of what I was thinking. Not a regional form.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
sense.
You.
Yeah, these are crazy. It puts like a shroud on the Pokemon.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, dude, what?
This one is crazy.
What is this?
Concept.
It says commission for Lucian the 14th.
Yeah.
It's by Nelsonios.com.
King Louis the 14th, Kalos confirmed.
Yeah.
You know what I'd say about this? It gets the bug type, bro. Fire bug.
Fire
bug.
bug.
That.
Yeah, like I'd be so
But that's actually kind of cool because I'm imagining the Pokemon as is, but then it has this like additional ghostly aura around it.
It's like a Valkyrie now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick,
like,
dude.
Even
Isn't
ghost bug.
Yeah. This one's kind of cool
We need a
too.
bug type Mega Evolution. Like someone gains the bug type. You know what I mean? Like we need that.
This one's actually sick too.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just think these are prime. I'm in love with these Pokemon. I've been collecting a lot of Pokemon in my Scarlet
look up the
version.
superior one.
Yeah, look up the superior.
Armarouge.
Oh, I see.
Wait, what is this Gallade? Go back to the Gallade for a second. I've never seen that art and it's incredible.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow. I like Mega
It's on
Gallade
Twitter.
so much.
I'll like it and I'll send it to you later.
Perfect.
To like continue with Gen 9 because I do have one other pick for Gen 9. Ceruledge and Armarouge were one of mine. This is admittedly on my list. This isn't even something I necessarily want. Like there are a lot of Pokemon I'd pick over this, but this is kind of my dark horse. Like this is like I honestly could see this again. Thinking about if Game Freak are designing these mons with it in mind that they have Mega Evolutions in the next game. I put to Dunsparce.
Yeah, that was gonna be on my list as well. That was gonna be on my list as well.
I put specifically that imagine that the Dunsparce is a fake out and its Mega Evolution is this majestic flying serpent.
Bro.
It makes the Dunsparce a fake out, which makes it even funnier.
That's crazy.
I have a theory on my channel. It's actually my most watched video ever. Where like I kind of explain what I believe Mega Evolution actually does, and basically to condense it, I think it takes latent DNA in the Pokemon. So like, DNA that it has from ancestors, over the course of its evolution, not evolution as in Caterpie into Metapod, but like long-term macro evolution. And it uses that DNA to evolve the Pokemon further, which basically like the theory is built around. That's why Salamence, its Mega looks so similar to Roaring Moon, which is literally a past version of Salamence, albeit from another timeline.
Bro,
but there's an next entry from Dunsparce, yeah, where it says back in ancient times, it like is believed to have flown majestically or whatever. So it makes sense that if that is an ancient form of Dunsparce, the Dunsparce could Mega Evolve by accessing
yes!
this latent DNA.
Yes!
DNA.
Yes!
I put that it'd be pure flying, and I put that it could keep
flying.
Like I think pure flying. Get rid of the normal type and make it pure flying.
No, make it fairy, make it dragon.
I think fairy and dragon's too obvious, though. You know what I mean? I think they disservice Dunsparce if they make it dragon.
I love the idea. I have to push back. Flying seems so random unless it's designed are just giant wings. I think it will be. It's a digging, burrowing Pokemon. Why would it not have the ground type?
It's not
because
random.
It talks about how in its past it flew majestically. Like that's what the whole dex entry is about. And you see Dunsparce has these wings, so that suggests at one point that it used
can't get
those
off
wings.
the ground.
So
it's
it
not
would have
random
to,
either because like it wants to fly.
How many segments would it have?
1 billion.
Bro, literally, it could be biblically accurate. It could have like
Eternal
10.
snake.
Dude, honestly, that would be so sick.
I imagine it would still be 2 or 3 segment, depending on which one you Mega Evolve. But I put that it would get Serene Grace still, because that's its regular ability.
It's a good ability.
But I did say, like, again, wild card, I put or multi-scale.
Yeah.
But in pure flying would make it special because there are not many pure flying Pokemon. The only pure flying Pokemon there are is the form of Silvally and Arceus, which can we really count that? Tornadus, and then Rookidee and Corvisquire.
Damn, dude. I love this, Lumi. That's so good find.
Man, it's been a long time since I looked at Dunsparce.
Honestly, guys, growing up is realizing your mistakes, and I think I love this thing.
It's my dark horse pick. It's not. I don't feel as strongly that it will happen as my other ones. But you were on Gen 9, so I wanted to throw that out there. That's all my Gen 9 though. Is just the Dunsparce, Armarouge, and Ceruledge.
Let's go.
Those are good ones. I want this so badly. I want this so badly.
All right, next pick.
Huge wings. Huge wings.
That's great, man.
Next pick. I wanted to clarify on yours, Dusty. So you were picking the Paldean starters and then Ceruledge and Armarouge.
No,
right?
I was picking Armarouge and Ceruledge as like one pick. I really think
he did also say the Kalos starters.
I said we might as well talk about them because I did. Yeah, the Paldean starters because I do.
Watch it be Pommet that gets a Mega Evolution, and it just like it's the same thing as the line where it just is like
a little
this
bit
looks
bigger.
like the same Mon, you know?
Dude, torturous. Oh my god.
I mean, because it has like the am I naming the right character here? It has like the Goku hair. Pommet does. So they just make it Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan Pommet.
And they could do it because it's like
Pommet.
It just has like an electric aura around it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it's gonna be, freaking Pommet, man.
Just with its hair standing up.
Oh, dude.
But it turns blue.
Oh,
Let's make it Super Saiyan blue. Just like the whole thing turns blue. What's my next pick? Hold on. I gotta check the list, guys. I also let's go out of Kalos for a second. I've said this before on our last one, like my preferred one, but I really think that Escavalier makes so much sense to get a Mega.
Yeah, 100%. Have the bug.
I personally want it.
Have the bug come out of the shell, or use the protective shell in more of an offensive way.
I was thinking more like along the lines of like it being more armored. I mean, after seeing the Terra Leak one too, I was like, whoa, how could this not be a Mega? But
he's talking about the beta version of Escavalier.
Yeah, the beta version.
One's like the what?
Yeah. But yeah, it's French coded. Like it's French coded. And it's better to like emphasize those French characteristics or traits. Yeah. Instead of like, you know, it could get a regional form, but why? It's already like so French. Like just make it a Mega. You know,
I think a Mega would look good on it too.
Yeah. So the reasons are escargot. That's where its name comes from. Escavalier.
Yeah.
Obviously, medieval times there was a lot of stuff going on in France with knights and all that. And so yeah, that's got the whole knight medieval times look. And it's a snail that the French eat. They're famous for eating them, which is not technically a snail; it's the beetle. But you know what I mean. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because it's a beetle that like gets a hold of these like of a snail shell. I think there's an opportunity for the Pokemon to evolve, to mega evolve in a way that either takes more of the snail traits that it didn't originally have as a Carablast, or maybe it mega evolves and takes on more of those beetle attributes, and maybe that's why it's able to grow longer. Maybe it gets a giant horn. I don't know, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I can picture what it would happen to it, but it's prime for it.
Yeah, most megas take design elements from their previous forms, and then those, because every Pokemon, it's not really like my puppy getting older. A Pokemon evolution is a separate creature that chemically evolves into a new creature. So think of it like real evolution, where it's like, we have latent DNA from things from a million years ago, from like our descendants, right? And a Scavalier, if it evolves, if it originally looked like a Carablast, what attributes from Carablast, or what Carablast is inspired by, could be applied to a Scavalier's design. That's the way I'm thinking about this. So
it definitely could be the case, but they don't all do that. It's the important thing.
No, they don't all do that, but a lot of them do that.
Yeah. So this is kind of interesting. I just went on a little rabbit hole here.
Nice.
So about a Scavalier, to add to how you're talking about, escargot, that's from France and all. So back in medieval times, there were a lot of depictions of like knights fighting snails, like giant snails.
Yeah.
That's actually why Gudra is a dragon typing, is because like dragons and snails are kind of interchangeable. Those origins of knights versus snails are thought, they exist in all countries, so it's hard to pinpoint, but they are believed to come from France. So I say that to say, like, not just its namesake, but its whole origin seems to be directly, not just medieval, directly French.
It's so just perfect for it. Like, please, Game Freak, make it happen.
It's such a
For
cool
what it's
Pokemon,
worth,
and I feel like it's
the game
forgotten.
is only set in Lumiose. Shelmet is found, not Carablast, but Shelmet is found on the route above Lumiose City. So, like, it's close to Lumiose. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah. Weird that they had one but not the other.
Carablast is in the game. I think it's found elsewhere, and now I'm actually second guessing that.
No, it must.
I know they're found on different routes in Unova. They're found on different routes.
They both must be available, or it can't evolve.
They are both available, but I think they're found on different routes.
Oh, okay.
Nope, they're not. They are both found on Route 14.
Okay. No, great pick, Soul. I love this Pokemon, and I would love to see it get an evolution, a mega evolution specifically. Some of these designs transform, like it shouldn't be a horse chimera.
I mean, it makes sense though. It does make sense.
What,
like,
to be a horse?
The ghost horse looking thing is crazy, but it's like it makes sense in a way.
No, because then it's not a Pokemon. That's crazy.
That ghost one would kind of be really
It's a
good
bug.
for a Selgor.
Yeah. The one where it has legs, like the bug one right next to the horse one.
Oh, this
makes the most sense. Yeah, that makes the most sense.
As long as
like
it looks like a bug, but I also don't think it needs that.
Like a beetle.
I don't think that this would feel like an evolution. I think it's mega.
Yeah,
just needs
true.
to be, because I like the little like shell at the bottom, because then it can, it's like it can just float or like bounce or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, great pick.
It's the whole jousting thing.
Yeah, exactly. Great pick. Who's next?
You were talking about Charcadet, Dusty. Imagine like it taking the
exactly.
Scavalier armor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa!
And it gains the bug type.
Yeah.
Charcadet evolves to gain the bug type.
Dream.
Well, honestly, it needs a steel. Like, we've got these armored Pokemon. Neither of them are steel.
Bro, it needs a metal coat evolution.
Yeah.
All right.
You're next, Dusty.
You're not next?
Nope.
No, I did the Dunsparce.
Oh, you did first? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we're going back to Galar. I'm sorry, we're going back to Paldea. I think Palafin needs a mega.
Okay.
I think Palafin is a Pokemon that I don't love.
That one's so hard to say yes to because it already has that form. That's crazy.
Google Chrome is being a little weird and just not responding. Let's see if this works. Yeah. Okay. And let's go to Palafin real quick. Oh, actually, no, I think I pulled it up. No, I didn't pick it up. I didn't pull it up. Palafin.
The only thing with that is it'd be hard because of its.
Yeah.
Like, can you Mega Evolve both forms? Does
I
it
think
have to be in the hero form to Mega?
I think Palafin is Palafin. I think, yeah. And again, I think the hero form kind of is a Mega. Like, functionally, it is kind of like a Mega.
It's very similar.
So I think it'd be an interesting thing if they were to almost like cement it as its own thing. I think Palafin's already become very popular. It's based on a superhero. I think it's very easy to just give this Pokemon a power-up. I haven't investigated it too much, but I just think it's a Pokemon that I never liked because of its like mid-battle form. I also just don't like the design that much. But it's grown on me. Like a lot of Paldean Pokemon, it's grown on me. And I think, I don't know. It's to me coded like a Mega. And they could basically take the design and make it even greater, right?
If nothing else, it could have been a hint to Megas coming back. You know what I mean? The next game.
This Pokemon, this is from the Scarlet Dex. Here we go. This Pokemon's ancient genes have awakened. It is now so extraordinarily strong that it can easily lift a cruise ship with one fin. Guys, I didn't even look at the Dex entry before we started recording, but that is all I need. That's all the evidence. Megas Megas are all about latent genes coming out, right? It's literally like it's a DNA splice.
I have a theory video on this. It
didn't
do so well, but I do have a theory video on this.
All right. Yeah, Palafin will never show anybody its moment of transformation, but I'm ready to see it. I think this could be a great pick. For a new type. What type is it? Is it just water?
Yeah, pure water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe they give it the
fighting
type.
Is obvious. Yeah,
just to make it a little bit extra. I don't know. I think there's an argument to make where you're like, well, what's the difference? And I'm like, I guess it's a more solid form, but maybe that takes away from the Pokemon. Maybe Game Freak doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how realistic it is.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd want to because it like already has like kind of its whole gimmick.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's okay. We'll count the Paldea starters for you.
I'm counting this. I think this is real. The fact that it talks about latent genes, I think there's a lot of Pokemon forms that can be interpreted in universe similar to other features, right?
But I think that kind of disproves your argument though, that it already has like its own version of Mega Evolution. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. I think something else could be added to this. I think it's
for
a
sure
popular
there's
Pokemon.
potential.
Yeah, so that's my pick. Palafin, lock it in.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Locked in.
So like I said, I have. I'll let y'all pick. Do I? No. I'll just go ahead and do this. This is my last Gen 6 Mon on this list. Everything else is outside of Gen 6. My only Gen 6 Mons on here were the Kalos starters, Talonflame, and this Pokemon, which is I will admit. I did my best, y'all, to make this my list of what I think. And I do really think that this is possible, but I will also be honest with you and tell you that it is like probably top 5, maybe even greater of Pokemon I'd want. And that is a Mega Noivern. It is a really popular Mon in the Kalos decks. I feel like Gudra's actually a little less likely to get one because it just got its Hisuian form.
Yeah.
So I feel like, if they're looking at a Kalos Dragon, that leaves Noivern and Dragalge and Tyrantrum, and I feel like Noivern of those 3 is like the most primed for it.
And we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we always talk about this. I can't have a conversation about new Mega Evolution without bringing up Noivern. I say give it Punk Rock as an ability. For those who don't know, Punk Rock is Toxtricity's ability, boosts sound wave or sound base moves, and it also makes you take less damage from sound base moves.
Imagine it's Dude, that's crazy. Oh, Hoops.
Well, in Boom Burst, it doesn't even get stabbed from, even though it's like kind of seen as its signature move. So by giving it Punk Rock, you kind of make it almost get like stabbed from it,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
I will.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that one of my picks is also Mega Noivern. So I agree with you for all of those reasons. Like
I need it.
It's not a pseudo, right? But it's kind of like one. It just makes sense that it would be. It's that popular. The anime popularized it a ton, and it's right.
Well, and dude, click that picture right below this where it's just regular old Noivern. On the
right
below
here?
the picture you have up.
Yeah.
Just look at that, man. That is.
It's a great Pokemon. It really is. It really is great.
It's not going to evolve further, so it's like let's mega evolve it. You know, it's
and it could use it
for it.
It could use it. It's competitive, but it's not like. It's not Dragonite or a pseudo legendary where it is a threat. It has a typing that kind of hurts it, Flying Dragon. So give it a boost. It can use a boost. It really can.
I think this Pokemon could get a new type.
Good design.
I think it could get a new type.
I think it could if sound was a thing.
Yeah, if sound was.
That's true. I guess
I don't know what else they do.
Maybe it
too
could.
Crazy.
Flying is actually because of the size of its wings and the emphasis on its sound element. I do think the flying probably it does actually fit it really well. It suits it.
Legends Arceus gave us a lot of new moves. They gave specifically the thing I always think of is they gave Torterra like Headlong Rush, which is basically a ground type close combat, and they gave Empoleon Wave Crash.
That's
which is
so
basically
true,
a
dude.
Water type Flare Blitz. So you could make Noivern have a new sound based move that's flying type. They could always do that.
This was so good.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this. For listeners, this is a really cool animation of Noivern. Oh my gosh, walking with its like all four legs. I guess I'm
look at this and tell me this isn't one of the greatest. I'm gonna go out there and say it. 1,000 plus Pokemon designs. This is one of the greatest ones, if not the great. If you told me that you think the best Pokemon design in history is Noivern, I could not argue with you. I don't know if that's how I feel, but I couldn't argue with you.
Dude, it's so cool.
Lumi's slowly deciding that this is his favorite Pokemon.
I think I am too. You know why? Because the way it walks like this, this is actually.
Well, this is not real though.
I know, but this is how it actually would walk. I'm sure it has walked like this in the anime. But this is how dragons. This is a dragon to me. This is a wyvern is a dragon to me.
It's so good, and I feel like a lot of the dragons nowadays aren't like they're dragon type, but they're not dragons, right? Like Goodra's sitting right next to this thing in the decks. Even Tyrantrum, as cool as it is,
Goodra's a goofball.
It's not a dragon; it's a T-Rex.
Yeah,
and like Noivern feels like almost the last true dragon we've gotten.
Yeah.
So I love it for that reason. I am biased because the first time I ever played X and Y. There was someone, I only had a Froakie and a Fletchling on my team, and I battled this random girl. Like, I was online always battling people, and I battled this random, well, may not have been a girl, but it was a girl character, who used, like, she had a fully evolved team. She clearly had gone through the whole game, and I lost, but then they offered to trade with me, and they sent me an egg, and this is, like, before the first gym, and that egg hatched into a Noibat. And so, like, I got to use a Noibat really early in the game. And it was
sick.
So this Mon is, like, solidified as, like, a core memory. And then, of course, I'm 13. I found it pretty freaking cool that Ash then gets an egg that hatches into a Noibat,
That's epic.
I love it.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's one of my picks as well. Also, these animations are by Yasuno.
Yeah.
I've been
watching these all
great.
week on Twitter.
I need to have Yasuno on the pod, honestly.
I am like literally a fanboy. I'm just all of their posts, I'm like, yo.
They're bringing our imagination to life. I love it.
The
greatest Gen 10 announcement would be Game Freak announcing they've hired Yasuno to work on their games.
If I could repost everything that they do, I would. But
you could.
I feel like that'd be overkill.
You could, but you
could.
But I don't want to be their account.
All right, what's next? How many more do we have? We got to start speeding through these.
I'm almost done.
I have 3 left.
Yeah.
Are any of them paired together? Can you say a couple at the same time?
I can say 2 at the same time, but I'll let someone else go because I just did mine.
Yeah, Dusty, what do you have going on?
I feel like I just went. Soul, it's your turn.
Well, we're going quick.
Go quick.
I also but I did kind of just go because I was like Noivern is one of mine.
Well, I said Noivern too, so it's Lumi's turn.
Yeah, we all said Noivern.
All right, so I picked. So again, Annihilate is again a Pokemon that I feel like is being primed. Honestly, and Lumi, I like the way you described the positioning of the Dunsparce, where it's like Dunsparce was never gonna get a Mega. But if you evolve it, now it's kind of a meme, and then its final form, its Mega, is essentially that third stage. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And I think Annihilate is where I don't even have it up. I gotta pull it up. Annihilate. I think Annihilate has slowly become one of my favorites. I think it's becoming a fan favorite, absolutely. It just is a great design because it perfectly, we talked about it in our Cross-Gen Evolution video. I think it perfectly captures the essence of Mankey and Primate. It completes the form. It's satisfying. I think it's a cool design. It adds something as in its final form.
So
a
cool.
Mega would, just like you said with Palmot, it has the Super Saiyan hair, so I think it could just go crazy.
Y'all, 2 years later, and I still look at this thing and like, dude, they evolved Primate.
It makes it's surreal. It really is surreal, and it feels like such a natural progression. Yeah, this is essentially what I think about when I think about its Mega, right? But it'd be even crazier. It'd have a ghostly aura. Maybe it actually has these shadow punches. You know, these shadow boxing is a common term. Again, I don't have a lot of evidence, but I think my main thing with this video is I think Gen 9 Pokemon are going to get Megas, and these are the Pokemon that I think are most fitting. That's kind of how I'm connecting this together. It's not just a wish list. I think Gen 9 is going to get some love. I really do. And for those who don't know, the Gen 9 region, Paldea, if we kind of plot it out, the overarching theory is that I think it's canonically borders Kalos. So the idea is these Paldean Pokemon can just kind of migrate over into the Kalos region and then access these stones and then achieve Mega Evolution. So
for listeners, to bless our listeners, can you please just read that Scarlet Dex entry?
Yeah, I'm going to read it right now. I was just about to read it. So this is Annihilate Dex entry, Scarlet version. When its anger rose beyond a critical point, this Pokemon gained power that is unfettered by the limits of its physical body. So sick.
Dude, that is
insane,
so sick.
Actually.
They cooked so hard with this, man.
It's crazy.
Like, it's
so
simple.
crazy.
It's a simple design in terms of like the progression.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
Lumi, we haven't really talked about this, but like okay, if we give Annihilate 100 base stat points, does that make all that's just gonna make all the Megas like totally busted, right? But they just are busted.
My guy, have you looked at the Megas?
Yeah, they're busted.
Because they are. Now, and for the record, as much as I would not like
attack.
this, as much as I would not like this, you can't rule it out.
Yeah.
The fact is, some Pokemon like Garchomp, there is a heavy argument that their Mega is worse because of the way they distributed the stats. Because not only do they add 100 to the base stat total, but they will sometimes move things around. Like, they'll sometimes go, and we're going to take 20 from their attack and put that in their special attack. So, like, their special attack gets an even bigger boost. And, like, that's the thing with Garchomp is they took from its speed. And that's why a lot of people believe that Garchomp is actually better than Mega Garchomp because it can outspeed it.
Sure. Okay.
So, hypothetically with Annihilate or any Pokemon, yeah, sure, it can get a Mega, but they can be turds and they can go, well, we're going to take 45 of its speed and put that in attack,
Yeah, I think just to add to this, I'll just add one more Pokemon here while I'm going. My next Pokemon is, let me pull it up so you guys can wait for it kind of suspensefully. Scovillain.
So
We've talked about it so much, but I think Scovillain is another classic Pokemon that could get a new evolution, but honestly, I think it could also just get a Mega with more heads, even spicier, right? I think that'd be pretty easy. And they could even do something. They don't need to because Grass Fire is an epic type, but they could do something where if it's a Ghost Pepper, maybe it gets the Ghost type. I don't know. They could do something interesting here.
I like that more for like a regional form though.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though of course that's personal.
It definitely
preference.
needs something more. We talked about it, but yeah, I feel like an evolution might be better, but a Mega would be really cool.
Yeah, and
I
again,
will say if it got an evolution, it will be the first time a Pokemon evolves by a stone evolves further. They can always do that.
Really?
They can always. Yeah, there is no example of a Pokemon that evolves by a stone, but then evolves further.
Stone.
Honestly, it could get
stone. Not held item.
But
okay.
yeah, not held item, but a stone. And again,
are we counting happening
say,
with the oval stone?
No, because it holds that. You don't use it on it.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, it's not it's not technically an evolution stone.
Right.
But the Violet Dex entry, it says once it goes on a rampage, there is no stopping it. Again, maybe that's just some flavor text, but I do think this Pokemon has some it's got some latent energy.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I mean, I'd be happy with it. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be great.
Yeah.
So you got to go now because we skipped you.
So another one that is actually not Kalos is in the same way that Dusty was saying that Paldea is close to Kalos. Maybe. That looks awesome.
That's hilarious.
This is an armor.
There's a
Ceruledge with like a.
There's
this is what happens
a Charcadet evolution.
Finds a pepper and wears it.
Yeah. For those
Anyway,
listening, we're just looking at cool art. Sorry.
Yeah. Of Scovillain.
Yeah.
Craziness.
All right. So what's your pick, Soul?
In the same way, I was saying that Galar is.
Yes.
Arguably closer to
Kalos.
Actually,
I've got one Galar Pokemon listed here.
Yeah, because it makes a lot of sense. Like France, England, all of that jazz. Let's see if it's the same Pokemon. It'd be really funny, actually. So the one I have is actually Dragapult because they another one that they tend to do, like a trope, let's call them, is go for the cool pseudo legendary, the one that's already like epic and
dude.
Crazy,
We got Salamence, Metagross, Garchomp.
We got all of them. They have to do at least one pseudo legendary in this game, I think, for Megas. And I think this being close to it, Galar, like it could have been an ancient Pokemon, in Kalos as well at some point.
This Pokemon, not to cut you off, but I'm brain blasting. This Pokemon would have been prime for like Gigantamax, where the missiles are the Dragapults.
Yeah.
How sick would that have been? If the adult
then that's
Dragapult,
evolution. That's not what Gigantamax is.
No, but the Gigantamax would have been this giant Dragapult, but then the missiles were like just normal sized Dragapults.
Right, but that would imply the Dreepy evolved. And that would kill the lore of Gigantamax, because that means it's evolving the Dreepies.
Yeah, but Gigantamax kills the lore. There's look at the giant toy boat and all this random stuff in Garbodor.
That's so different from implying that a Pokemon evolves through Gigantamax, though.
No, I think it would have been cool.
A boat being there is so different.
They did some crazy stuff with it.
Mm-hmm. I like the debate idea.
Okay. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I don't have much else to say. I mean, that's it. Like, I think that because it's a pseudo legendary, because it's close to Kalos, like very close, and because they do pseudo legendary, it's cool. It's popular. A lot of people love it. I think it would make a really good one. I don't know if you want to look up Megas for it, just because I don't know what it could be other than more like plain, like more like I feel like it's got these plain vibes, like stealth fighter vibes.
Yeah.
Bro, this is cursed, but I kind of like it.
No, that's the worst ever.
It's a Kangaskhan body with Dragapult.
They put like a Dracloak right in front of the
baby. They didn't even try with that one. They just threw it right on top of it.
This one by Suba is a good idea.
Oh, this is Suba?
Yeah, for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, this makes sense.
Anyway,
yeah. So Dragapult's head is based off of these like stealth bombers. Is that what they're called? I have no idea what they're called.
Yeah, I don't know about bombers.
They're drones of war, maybe. I have no idea.
These ones are manned, those ones, but they're old actually now. Yeah.
All right, so you got this like type of industrial war plane, and that's kind of what its head looks like. In the permanent shape of its body, I think some people might not like, but that is, here's the example right here. Wow, that's crazy.
When I was a kid growing up, fun story time, but this was like, I used to be like, this is my favorite plane ever.
Yeah.
And be like fantasize about it, like flying through the sky and, like being a character. Yeah. Because it looks like something to me instead of like,
it looks like a spaceship.
Just a plane. Yeah, it's cool.
It's so crazy.
Looks like something should attach to it.
I'm not really a ship,
Dreepies?
car, boat, plane kind of guy, but that
I was a train kid.
I'm a train kid now.
I think I was I was a Pokemon kid.
I really like riding on trains.
I think I was just a Pokemon kid. I remember my dad one time was like, I'll take you to Toys R Us. You can get anything you want. And I was like, Pokemon cards. And he's like, you don't want this cool thing. You don't want this Pokemon cards.
You don't
He's
want a
like,
card.
And then he ended up. He's like, you know what? Get your Pokemon cards, but I'll also get you this Transformer. I'll get you this. And I was like,
Oh, you secretly knew that
I don't
was
care
the way to
about
get
it.
two. You knew that was
no,
the way
I
to
think
get two.
I just couldn't get. I take my eyes off the Pokemon cards. I gotta say, in this design right here of this Mega Dragapult, the design here has the Dreepy looking different, similar to how the Kangaskhan kid looks.
Yeah.
A little bit older in the Mega Kangaskhan. So maybe this Pokemon has parental bond. I could see that.
It is a multiple Pokemon.
Yeah, it is.
Sense.
It really is. Yeah. I could see it getting parental bond, which isn't that epic, and maybe doesn't fit this design. But every time it attacks, Dreepy also kind of attacks. I think that makes perfect sense to me.
God, that would be so broken on Dragapult, though.
I know, but it would be cool.
And it's so fast.
Yeah.
It would be cool.
But by making it bulkier, that again kind of justifies taking from its speed, like Garchomp.
I would have said Duraludon. You know what? Duraludon is a really good pick as well.
Duraludon or Archaludon?
I would say Duraludon because
Really?
Well, I don't know if it can get a Mega because of all that.
It hasn't been done before, but they could always change that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, these are actually really good. The one where it's like a full body one, where it like becomes a dinosaur, like if you go up.
Oh, this?
That was pretty crazy. Yeah, like these are just.
That's pretty.
You know,
cool.
like it fully becomes an amphibian, like evolves kind of thing.
That'd be a cool like Paradox Dragapult.
Yeah,
true.
I bet it was. Yeah, it's Walking Dragapult. Old work. Maybe it was
they
like
made it like
Wake.
Walking Wake. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, what's
Anyway,
next?
I was just, yeah.
This is a good one.
I
can see it.
I like that a lot.
What's next, Lumi?
And
Oh,
so I
this is
have
Bionic
down.
Region.
I have two that I'm pretty convinced will happen at this point, but I'm gonna save them for last.
Okay.
Right now, I'm gonna say that and hear me out here. I'm gonna say Cleavor.
Dude, yes.
And the reason I'm saying Cleavor is I'm gonna say something, and you're gonna have a counter for it. Dusty especially will.
Why?
And then I have a counter for it.
I might agree.
I think that they might give it to Cleavor because of Scizor. And I know the usual counter is, oh, well, there's so many Pokemon that didn't have that happen. Like Slowbro has a Mega Evolution, whereas Slowking does not.
Yeah. But they have also done that.
Right. Like Gallade got it and Oris after Gardevoir had it in X and Y. But also too, my big thing are actually two other points. And that is, for one, this is the team that worked on Legends Arceus, and I could totally see them wanting to nod to the prequel, or not prequel, but the predecessor to this Legends game, the last Legends game, the first Legends game, by giving a Legends Pokemon of some kind a Mega Evolution. I don't think it would be Ursaluna, obviously, because Ursaluna got some special treatment with the Blood Moon form. But then also too, if I can, I'm going to say something about the Terra Leak without spoiling it. So if you're listening in, don't worry, I'm not going to name anything. But we know from the Terra Leak that there was originally supposed to be a Pokemon on the roster of the heroes in the anime that was going to Mega Evolve.
Yeah.
This did not happen. They scrapped this Pokemon. However, Cleavor was not on that roster, and he is now. So I could see them still going, hey, we still want you to debut a Mega with your hero Pokemon. And I could see Cleavor being that one, especially too because kind of plot-wise, Cleavor in the anime kind of took the place of Blood Moon Ursaluna, where it's like tied to parent and all. And Blood Moon Ursaluna was the special form of Ursaluna. So maybe they give Cleavor like a special form.
Bro.
But then also,
I love this. I'm not against this at all. I think that's a lot of good evidence.
It makes so much sense.
And I would like it.
I like it.
I would like it.
It makes too much sense. To me, it's like it's so good. I think it should happen for sure.
It's not one of the ones I'm most convinced of, but I feel like that is I can make a good argument for it. And for its ability in typing, I just said Bug Rock. Still, I don't think they'd change that. And I said Sharpness. Like it would keep Sharpness.
It's funny that none of us really changed the typings that much on any of these.
Yeah, I think we picked good ones.
Yeah, but it makes me think like how much they would actually change typings too.
I think they only change it when it makes sense. Like
if it helps, my last two, I did change the typing of. But
yeah.
but yeah, no, I do really feel like I picked Cleavor because I think of them I can make the most argument for it, but I do really feel like they'll want to give something to a Hisuiemon because I feel like
I didn't even
I feel
think
like it's
about that,
more
but I love
likely
it.
to be one of the new Mons rather than a Hisui. Like I don't think it'll be Hisui and Arcanine because that's like a Pokemon kind of region locked to Hisui.
Yeah.
I think it would be more likely one of the new Pokemon, and then even more likely one of the new evolutions. So not like a regional evolution like Sneasler or Overquill, but a pure evolution like Cleavor, Ursaluna, and Weirdeer. And again, Ursaluna I would personally narrow out because Blood Moon Ursaluna, so that would leave it between Weirdeer and Cleavor. And then with Cleavor being
And
in the
Weirdeer's
anime,
not getting
I
one.
just felt like
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Watch
hope not.
Watch that. Be
Let's
the one.
hope not.
Yeah.
Weirdeer's not getting one. Someone just clipped that, and on the
Sure.
release day of Legends EA, they're throwing it right back at you.
Yeah.
Good God, no.
Yeah, I think this is really cool. I love the representation for Legends Arceus. That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, this is maybe the most logical one this entire time, I think.
Yeah.
For me, this is the most logical.
Other than the Calistars.
Is
Other
it
than
true?
the Cal starters.
Is it true that I still can't evolve Scyther into Cleavor in Gen 9? Like I have to do that in Arceus?
That is true because they have not given you. You cannot get the. I think it's called the Black Augurite.
Yeah.
You can't get that anywhere.
I was
in
trying to complete my
Scarlet.
decks and I'm like looking all over the place. I had to look it up. I was like, what
I mean, you
the
can
heck?
catch one. You can just
You can
catch one.
catch one, yeah, and you can do raids for one. And they did like canonize that it can still exist because like in lore, the reason that Cleavor's there in the Blueberry Academy is because they have Black Augurite there, which allows Scyther to evolve into it. So in lore, you still can evolve your Scyther into Cleavor. It just seems that that item is incredibly rare.
No, absolutely. And maybe it's something that's maybe more widely accessible for some reason.
And if
Dude,
I may, Lumio City has a stone emporium.
Wow, dude. Yep, that's where you're going to get it.
He said,
Just saying. Mic drop.
Man,
How many more megas do we have?
I only
I
have
have
one
2.
more. I don't know how Lumia has 2, but I have
I've
one
got 4
left.
more wild cards, but we got to rip through these. Come
You
on.
can
well,
just
then why don't
say
you do
'em.
2 of yours,
Just-
and then Soul do his last one, and then you know.
I'll just say all of them right now. So
Just say yours.
Mega Colossal, I think that's a Pokemon that we did see get a what do you call it? A Gigantamax
G-Max.
form, but still, like I just think it's what is it? It's made of coal. Have it erupt. Make a version of this. That actually is something we could see. Maybe versions of the dude. If this was just a Mega, oh my god, incredible! I love this Pokemon so much.
That'd be crazy if they did that.
So Colossal gets a pick from me. Another Pokemon that I think would be awesome for to receive a Mega is one of my favorites, Drampa. It's based off a Chinese dragon. They're depicted to be able to like change their form. They're able to change their like appearance to whatever it needs to be.
I love this pick.
Yeah,
want this pick.
and I think
I hate
they could
but
do
yeah.
something goofy. Talk about type swapping. They could do something goofy. Maybe it's a really
If
gentle
anything,
Pokemon. It's based on a
Opposite
grandpa.
is what I would want. I'd be like, I need something epic to
But that's
to
not
happen.
this Pokemon. That's not this Pokemon. And I think what they could do is they
Could
could
be.
make it a fairy type where it's even more friendly. It's reached enlightenment maybe, or Grandpa joke. It passes away and gets the ghost type. But anything. It's a cool it's cool Chinese dragon.
I think you're missing the obvious here, and that is that its ability is Berserk, and its Dex entry talking
Oh,
about
yes.
how while it is
Yeah.
friendly, you mess with the kid that it loves,
Yeah.
and it will come to your house and burn it down.
Yeah.
That's the Mega Drampa I want
It
to
stirs
see.
up a
Yeah,
gale and
I want
flattens
the
everything
angry
around.
old man
Well, and-
Drampa.
And it's kind of canonical too, right? Because like we learned from the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon Dex entries for Mega Evolutions that like these Pokemon go through like a lot of pain to Mega Evolve.
Yeah.
And if they want to stick with
that's
that,
sad.
like so you're pissing off this Drampa, you know?
Yeah. No, I can see it.
I'm just thinking about what it could become, even because does it
But it's
go
not
like
gonna
the
be. Yeah.
Chinese
It's gonna.
dragon route? Or-
Yeah.
This is a good time to say that Dusty, I'm proud of you for playing new Pokemon Snap, and I can't wait for you to see Drampa and for me to go Soul play Pokemon Snap.
I'm
You know
working
what?
on it.
What is cool is that I did play Pokemon Snap. I played about 2 hours of it on stream. That's live on the channel, on the YouTube channel right now. But but I am
You
going
should
to be
play more.
I know I'm going to be recording another episode this week, and that will be live when it's live, but then it'll be paywalled, exclusive for patrons and YouTube channel members.
Well, at least he's honest about it, guys.
Speaking of which, Lumi, let's thank our sponsors.
Oh goodness, let me
Our
pull it up.
producers of the
I wasn't
show.
ready.
I wasn't ready.
I was
This
trying
is
to make
the
it
first
obvious.
time I wasn't ready.
I was trying to make it obvious. I was trying to give you
Plug our
easy
merch while
win.
I pull it up.
No, seriously, thank you everyone for all the continued support. Every single day, I get a new email saying someone is pledging to support the podcast.
That's so awesome.
And guess what? We've finalized the art for the holiday card. I've printed it, or it's being shipped to my house. It's gonna be. And here's the thing. Last year when we sent out the holiday cards, everyone loved them, but we did get a lot of feedback suggesting that some of the cards were getting damaged in transit. We designed these cards to be like postcards, so they seem like a little bit more of a personal greeting. This year, what we're gonna do is slip these into envelopes.
Hopefully that does the job.
Yeah, I think that's gonna do the job. And so you'll get your card. It'll have no damage on it. And those are accessible. Everyone who is a Box Legendary tier supporter on YouTube or on Patreon, that's the $10 tier or higher. You will be getting a card, and I think we're gonna have a couple leftovers. So we have our list cemented, but there might be 5 to 10 left. It's gonna be first come, first serve. If you have yet to sign up, it's not too late. Sign up, become a supporter on Patreon or a YouTube channel member. That's a Box Legendary tier or higher. Again,
It's the $10 tier or higher.
First
on
come,
Patreon
first
or
serve.
YouTube.
First time.
Also, too, I will say, some of y'all, you ain't sent me your dang address.
Yeah, it's true.
If you haven't sent me your address, we can't give you the card.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you haven't done that, do that.
But anyways, that's a little bit of housekeeping. New episodes. New episodes of Secret Power. New episodes of me playing Pokemon Snap, and Lumi. There's
discounts for our merch store.
Yeah, discounts for the merch store. But Lumi, there's I feel like you got to start updating us on what's going on with the Battle League in our secret Discord.
Yes,
there's been a bunch of like holiday leagues going on, right?
Oh yes, we are about done with our holiday tournament. We do tournaments every so often, so enter. And right now, we are prepping for our next season of the league. You know, did a little bit of changing some housekeeping with the league, and we have a tournament for to decide our Elite Four. It hasn't started yet. This is something that'll take place in January. So if you're like, oh, I can be an Elite Four member for the Hidden Power League,
that was so much fun.
Sign up. And, you know, maybe
I'm getting dethroned right now. I was an Elite Four member, and I'm getting dethroned at the moment.
Hey, you could enter the tournament, too, and try to keep your spot.
It's true. That's true. Anyways, let's thank our sponsors.
Okay. So, first off, I want to thank all of y'all, because there are so many of y'all.
It actually, doesn't it blow your mind when you read the list? You're like...
It does.
You're like,
I
where
have
are
to
all
take
these
breaths
friends?
Reading... Like, admittedly, I'm, you know, it's wintertime. I'm having some lung issues. But I have to take breaths reading, like, through these. Like, it's, you know, you'll see in a minute. We want to give a special shout-out to our Mythical Tier members, Hayden Segal, Ryan, Amphosinus, Cornet Highlander, Chris, Tyler Low 15, Primal Gray, Case, Stills, Sully the Skeleton, NMT Arts, Northender, Travis Mashburn, Matt Hale, the Pokekiddo 1. We want to give a special shout-out to our Arceus tier supporters, Red and Haze, and we want to give a Gigantamax, or perhaps for this episode, a Mega Evolve shout-out to our Game Freak Inc. level members, Young Smokey, Drogain, and Bramtastic. Thank you all.
Yo, so good.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for your continued support. We got a lot of plans for 2025, so you guys are making it all happen. All right, how many more megas do we got?
You were listing off your 4.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So Colossal. Let me pull this back up. Drampa. We got Dragapult right here. Okay, and then this is a fun one. Mimikyu. Mimikyu is one of my favorite Pokemon. I don't know how it slipped into that position.
Really good.
Solid. I love that your like throwaway. I have 4 random ones are like better than your like actual picks.
What do you mean better?
These are bad. These
are good.
But these are things that I like, but I don't think they're gonna happen necessarily. I think Mimikyu could happen just because of its popularity, But Mimikyu's whole thing is that it's got this secret identity underneath the cloth. So I wonder what they could do with the Mega Evolution. They could either go the route where the Mega Evolution looks maybe more like a Raichu. They could do a thing where it's the beast below it grows and it's this monstrosity, but the head is still covered with the Mimikyu mask. That'd be kind of cute.
Could be like Bayonetta, where it's like coming out of the cloth.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's ripping open.
Imagine
Mega
a Mimikyu
Pikachu.
Mega Evolution is like a Mimikyu'd version of Gorochu. So we
Yeah,
never
yeah,
get Gorochu, but Mimikyu's Mega Evolution is
That would
a
be
Gorochu.
so good. That would be so good. Please.
Oh my gosh,
That'd be
dude.
neat.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have another? The
Yeah,
last
and then
one?
there's one. I'm just reading its dex entries, and the last one is again kind of just like on the idea of like a Super Saiyan. And I was just going through the decks, and I'm like, this one needs to be picked up.
It's more Super Saiyan.
It's Kling Clang.
It's a Gen 5 Pokemon, and it is Darmanitan.
Okay.
Darmanitan is something that does have 2 different forms already. It's already got its Zen mode form, which is more defensive. Its standard mode is already really aggressive. But I just think...
And it got a regional variant.
It got a regional variant, yeah. But I really think you just make this thing a blazing... I don't know, just...
Super Saiyan. Monk.
Just Super Saiyan Fire Monkey. It's going to be so cool. Like, I kept looking at it, and I was like, this thing... If they start picking random Pokemon, I think Darmanitan is definitely up there. Anger has reignited its atrophied flame sack. This
that's
Pokemon...
its Galarian form.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that is cool that it's like fire and a snow type or ice type. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, its power levels rise along the temperature of its fire, which can reach 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know. I can just.
I think it's a good pick. It's because it's really popular.
Yeah, and maybe like it becomes enraged, but it accesses its psychic abilities, but in an offensive way. That'd be kind of cool.
I like that.
Yeah, so those are my fun picks. I got no evidence to tie them into Legend ZA specifically. I really
did
think
not understand those assignment dadgummit.
Yeah,
well, that's why I included. Okay. I wrote these down because I feel like I'm like these are my picks, but not predictions.
These were better though. These were like more accurate to me,
if I may.
But they're not accurate to Legend ZA.
It doesn't have to be like related to it. It just has to be like what is a mega that they would make. You know what I mean?
No. Lumi's text, which he's pulling up right now. Lumi said specifically,
proof.
What do you think? He said, Dusty, make sure you pick something that you think will be in the game, not what you want to be in the game. So I made a list of Gen 9 Pokemon that I think have been purposefully overlooked and set up for potential Mega Evolution in Gen 9. That is before Lumi even pulls up the text. That's my defense. And then I made a list of some other Pokemon that I like, that I would like to get evolutions, but I do not think that they're not my suggestions for this video. These are just little freebies. So don't even pull it up, Lumi. I don't even want to see it. Let's move on to the next Pokemon.
You like direct quoted it, I'm pretty sure. I'll say my next Pokemon.
Yeah, say your next Pokemon. He's going to say, I found it.
I'm going to pull a little bit of a Dusty here as well.
And I found it.
Okay, read it, whatever. It's the same thing.
And I abided the rules. I obeyed the rules.
Quote, Dusty, since you tend to do the homework wrong, LOL, this is what you need to bring on Tuesday. 5 to 10 Pokemon you think, not want, will get a Mega in ZA. And why you think so. And then also bonus points if you bring their type, ability, etc., which neither of you read. So.
I didn't read that part.
I didn't read that text
that second part.
Which I really should
Soul.
have.
Yeah,
I should have read it because I didn't. I was like, okay, we have 5.
Should we tell them what our group chat was about that we teased on Twitter?
No.
Okay, they can't know.
No.
All right. So, what's your pick?
My pick.
It was pretty juicy.
Like I said, I kind of pulled a little Dusty move here, and was that my original was actually going back to Kanto, because I was just like, it makes sense for Kanto Pokemon. Like there's gonna have to be some, right? And I don't think that Charizard will be one. I don't think Charizard will be one because
Mega Charizard Z.
It's just crazy to think that. But
is it crazy at this day and age?
Mewtwo I think Mewtwo could get something else again, like because it's not. You're like everyone's like Charizard, but
I agree.
Get it? Mewtwo could get something.
Sure,
but
that makes sense.
Listen, the dusty part about this is that while I was talking about Galar and thinking about Duraludon, I was like, this makes so much more sense, actually.
Oh, Duraludon?
Yeah, like we've talked about it, like Duraludon getting the or Archaludon, whichever one.
I think it'll be Arch.
Yeah, Archaludon getting a Mega of like the Lumiose Tower. Like it's like right there written, you know?
Bro,
this
that's
thing
actually
becomes the tower.
crazy. But what are you going to do? Because it already has over, what, 600? Does it have 600 BST?
It does, but they can just so does Garchomp and Salamence and Metagross.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it's 700 BST.
It's kind of so perfect for it that I'd be like, you know what?
You're right, dude.
This needs to happen.
They also, to add to that, Prism Tower in Lumio City is very connected to electricity. It's where the electric gym is, you know, all that. And they kind of started giving Archaludon electric properties. And even its signature move, Electroshot, is an electric type move.
This
absolutely
could be one where it changes its type.
Its Dex entry says it gathers static electricity from its surroundings.
It could be like an electric
dude.
Steel. How crazy!
That's crazy.
That
So if it's in Lumio
electric
City
Steel or Electric Dragon,
no, because like it wouldn't even be a dragon
evolution
anymore because it'd be the tower. You know?
Yeah,
kind of cool.
What if so you put this Pokemon in Lumio City and it's absorbing all the electricity from the city, and it becomes super powerful, dude.
Honestly, if this does not happen, it's such a missed opportunity. That's all I have to say.
Absolutely,
it's the biggest miss. It can become the tower, electric steel, and
no, it needs to be a dragon.
No, because it'd be the tower, bro. It just would be the tower.
I think its Cardinal has like a Mega Archaludon design they did. That was
really?
Prism Tower. I think so. I think it was Cardinal.
It's not a new idea, even though I don't know if I was the first one to come up with it, but we were. It's
Archaludon, Dusty.
We were around there.
What did I say?
Either way, there's been tons of there's been tons of fan art about it because it just makes so much sense to me.
How many more do we have?
That's it, yeah. I think that's it for both of y'all. I have my last two.
Oh, dude, this is so sick.
And
shout out to Cardinal, friend of the pod.
I mean, it's Prism Tower.
This doesn't have to be this doesn't have to be a dragon type, you know.
No,
it doesn't have to be.
I see it.
I think it still would be.
Yeah.
So sick, dude.
So they also could like just give it an ability that gives it like electric stab, kind of like.
I mean,
sure,
right now it kind of has 3 types too, to be honest, in a way.
Really 4 because let's face it, we've all got body press on our Archaludon. Stamina, body press, come on.
Yeah.
So I like what you said. It was a good segue into mine. Not Archaludon, but Mewtwo, because our list does not have any Gen 1 Pokemon. And I'm going to be frank with you guys. Yes, a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon have Mega Evolutions. Guess what?
Yeah.
More are going to get some. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
if I could promise something about these games having no information on them, I would probably promise that at least one, let's face it, multiple Gen 1 Pokemon will get Mega Evolution.
Yeah, that's why I said Mewtwo, because like something has to. Gen 1 has to happen.
There's no shot they don't have something from Gen 1. So I have 2 from Gen 1.
Okay.
These are 2 that I've almost convinced myself will happen. So my first one is I'm gonna preface this by saying that in Pokemon X and Y, we got a kind of water-based, like it's kind of locked to water Mega Evolution and Mega Gyarados. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, we get a kind of water-locked one in Mega Sharpedo. With Legends games being so action-packed and there being Pokemon that you'll probably ride in the water, I imagine there's going to be another water-based Pokemon, and I'm saying Seeking.
Damn.
I don't want a Mega Seeking.
Are you sure?
I want Seeking to evolve. I want Seeking to evolve. But
because that could happen. We could literally see Pokemon get a Collision evolution in Mega Evolution. That's something that we're not considering.
Sure, but I don't think so. I think I like I said,
lock
I
it
think
in,
these games,
baby.
I think these games will be Megas only. But I think that they'll do a Mega Seeking. I could see it being like our Noble equivalent, like a water-based battle against Mega Seeking. It's a Gym
Bro,
1
this
Mon.
game's a disappointment.
Specifically, it's a Gym 1 Mon that hasn't gotten anything. It hasn't gotten a pre-evolution. It hasn't gotten an evolution, a Mega Evolution, a Z-move, a regional form. Nothing.
I don't know.
Seeking's one of the, 2 Pokemon left? Not literally, but you know.
You know what? Okay, I hear you. I take all of your same points, and I wanna take them and redirect them into Dugong.
I mean, yes, please.
I'd be fine with that. I just I have a feeling about Seeking.
I mean, it is long forgotten.
It also
I don't know where it is in the decks. I think
this doesn't.
I think it was retconned out of the decks, dude. I can't even find it.
It's
right there.
Go up. You just passed it. You passed it. Go up. It's a little bit before Mr. Mime.
It's gone, dude.
You've gone. You passed it again. Scroll down. No, it's. Look,
yep,
you just had it, Dusty.
What do you mean?
Scroll up a little bit.
I can't find it. I can't find it.
Scroll up a little bit. It's right there. No, why do you keep scrolling so fast?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yes. I say scroll up a little bit, man. Goes all the way to the beginning of the decks.
My mouse it's just a little sensitive.
Oh man.
But I think they do the thing we wanted them to do with Gyarados, and they didn't do. And I think it will be a Water Dragon Mega Evolution.
Bro. I kind of like the design, dude. This is sick.
Down.
I threw in that for its ability, it should have Reckless. That way we can get a boosted Wave Crash from this thing.
Damn.
But yeah,
this one's really cool.
Yeah. So that is my first pick. My other pick is from Kanto. I think I feel a little bit stronger about this next one, but I do feel like Seeking is pretty a pretty powerful candidate. Also, I don't think this necessarily means anything, especially if they give out Megas to Pokemon beyond Gen 6. But
I can see the trailer. Seeking, Mega Seek. You know what? Listen, if we're in the Kalos region, there's kings, there's queens. You know?
True.
Seeking. You know what I want to see? I want to see a Mega Nidoking and a Mega Nidoqueen.
Oh, we all do.
That's a
we
dream.
We all
that's not a prediction video. We're doing the prediction video.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
My next one is Machamp.
Okay.
Oh, I'm really proud of you.
Are these real picks? Is it?
I thought
these are my
Dragonite
real
was
picks.
coming.
I'm about to give you why Machamp is my
Sure.
pick.
Let's do it.
So for one, in Sword and Shield, it is the version exclusive to Gengar. And the interesting thing about that is Gengar was given a Gigantamax that is clearly a homage to its Mega Evolution.
God.
So now you give Machamp a Mega Evolution that's clearly a homage to its Gigantamax.
That's fun.
You know what's cool? Because I've always liked the Gigantamax design. Listen, this man gets pants. What could be more mega than that? That's right? He went from
pants.
I guess.
He went from wearing a leotard.
What can be more mega than putting on pants?
He was wearing underwear and he Gigantamaxed, and now he's wearing a full set of pants. It's kind of
likewise. I imagine that Mega Seeking will wear a top hat now.
Dude, you're making a joke, but we literally have Galarian wheezing. Not funny.
And frigging what's his name?
Those wounds
Mr.
are still
Rhyme.
fresh.
Mr.
Rhyme.
Mega Seeking's gonna grow legs. It's gonna have on a full
it's tap dancing,
outfit.
Hello, darling. Hello.
Bro, I'm actually not even mad. This is so sick. I actually would love.
I have more. I have more as to why this would be in.
I love the orange gloves, dude, or the fists. Bro, this is actually so sick.
So I'm going to read way too into something, but I do think that the whole Gengar argument is kind of good enough on its own. And then it's a Gym 1 Pokemon, so I just feel like, Gym 1 Pokemon, it's likely. But from the Terra League, we had the poster for the 2025 Worlds League. And on that poster are the Kalos starters. And interestingly enough in it is Machamp. And Machamp isn't in Scarlet and Violet. It just kind of feels like a weird pick to me on there.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Solid, I think.
Well, then,
not bad.
I mean, if that's the case, so all right, this image that we're showing, this is leaked. This is the Anaheim 2025 World Championships poster.
This is why we picked this.
And now you know what I'm thinking is, okay, what if the Kalos starters, which are depicted in this photo, get a Mega, and then we also get a Mega for every other Pokemon in this picture. Wigglytuff, Honchkrow.
I don't think it'll be
Vanillite,
that because
Meowth.
I think if that were the case, they'd have Wigglytuff and Vanillux, you know? But
No.
like it's the fact that Machamp is here as a Machamp that just kind of combined with the Gmax thing kind of made me go, I don't know, I think Machamp could get something.
I think if you're gonna make a theory off of this like that, I think it would not be all of them, but just some of them. You know, like they're not gonna just be like all of these have a
Probably
Mega.
not Meowth.
Exactly.
You could get rid of
Meowth and Jigglypuff are just
and some of
And
these
Pikachu.
you can relate to
Pikachu.
California, right? Like sunny California, I'm gonna grab me an ice cream cone, you know?
I mean, that's a stretch. We
Also, Toadscruel.
eat ice cream in New Hampshire, just for the record.
Well, Toadschool
Toadschool
could be
would
like the SV, like, you know, not here.
Representation, yeah.
It would be amazing, but
I
I
don't
just
know.
don't see it. The three, because you're saying Machamp too. The three that I see that could happen would be Machamp, Vanillite, whatever it is, Vanillux, and Honchkrow. Those three, it's possible.
See, but
And
the
the rest
fact
are
that
just
it's Vanillite and Murkrow and not Vanillux and Honchkrow just makes me think, I don't know, Machamp's the odd guy here. So
Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to say Machamp combined with the Gmax stuff and the Gengar thing that I talked about.
Listen,
and,
I
of
like-
course, it being Gym 1.
I love the
Crazy
idea,
taxi.
but the more I look at this, if this actually was leaked, they would just have the actual Pokemon in this art. The actual
think
Mega
so.
form in this art.
They don't have the actual Mega Greninja, Delphox, and Chestnut in this art.
Yeah, but it's the
Because you
start.
have to think-
But it's the starters.
Right.
In
The same
this
way,
context, these are the starters for the Legends ZA game.
In the same
Right.
way, Lumi, they're not evolved either. So I think Murkrow and Vanillite could be something
Sure.
too. Who knows?
Maybe,
Anyways, that's
maybe.
a conversation for another day. What else do we got? Is that it?
That's
That's
it.
it.
That's it.
Wrap it up.
Awesome.
All
All right.
I will say about your tweet, Dusty, that was fun.
Oh, right
your
here?
Crazy tweet. Yes, this. I liked this.
Guys, I'm in Pokemon Home.
I thought
I've
you
been,
were like thinking these were gonna be all your
little
picks. I was
bit.
like,
I saw
A
that
little
one
bit.
comment that was like, keep in mind, this man constantly lies.
I couldn't even understand how people thought that you were trying to like leak this.
Well,
I was like, wait.
listen, just a little window into my mind. I think I know the tricks, right? I changed the box name to 625 as if that's a date, a release date. I
didn't even think
I
about
decided to. Well, it's also low res.
That's an
'cause
illegal Flygon.
It's low res. No, it's not.
It's level 29.
It's from
It
Pokemon
shouldn't
Go.
be possible. I know it is. I'm just
Okay.
I'm just messing.
Okay.
You're like Lance, man.
I know. But the
He's like, "Don't
the
destroy
only
my
Pokemon
shiny."
here that what is this? Is this Japanese? I was like, let me hover over the only Pokemon so it shows the Japanese name because people will be like, it must be more realistic.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was really
That's
just messing around in Pokemon Home. I've been transferring Pokemon into Home to complete my deck so I can get the shiny Meloetta. And it's been fun. It's been fun to actually spend time in I've been mostly spending my time in Blueberry Academy, but that's what this is a product of. But it's still, I'm like,
It's good.
It's wishful thinking. We'll see.
It was fun. I
Listen.
liked that it blew. I was like, this is a
3 of my
classic
picks
tweet.
were here.
Yeah, and your picks are in here, so
3 of my picks were here.
good.
Anyways, I just thought it was fun. That's a
I
little-
can't believe
little
none of us
Easter
said
egg views.
Flygon. Sorry, guys. No,
Well,
I-
I thought
I-
you guys were gonna say Flygon and Dragonite.
I thought Lumi was gonna say Dragonite, but there is like no logical reason. Other
I
than
did.
It's a pseudo.
I did almost put
Scream.
Dragonite just because it is like the, Dragonite has gotten nothing. Like it's the only
Yeah.
Gen 1.
Yeah.
but
Or
Dragon
not
Bolt
the
could-
only, but it's one of the few Gen 1s that doesn't have anything.
Yeah,
but-
but Dragon Bolt could get it instead. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be just because it's a pseudo. Like they could just leave it again. You know? It's
Well,
not-
and also I think I thought everyone would think that I brought Dragonite, so I was like, nah, I'm gonna
Yeah, you
one
wanna be
step ahead
tricky.
and not bring Dragonite.
tricky about it. You know how many people online, like I've seen so many people like Mega Dragonite. Like everyone and their mom is like,
Yeah.
it's Mega Dragonite.
People want it
It's
to be
true.
real.
My mother
They
called
want
me yesterday and was like, hey, Mega Dragonite. And I'm like, how do you even know what that is?
I think after that is Mega Flygon, but I don't know. I don't know if Mega Flygon will actually happen or not.
Yeah.
Mega
I don't
Jinx is another one to like potentially throw
No,
into
that
ring.
will not happen.
I don't think so either. I mean, they
Yeah.
scrapped it for a reason that I think would still hold true. So
Yeah.
Well, that was a fun episode. I'm desperately looking forward to Legends ZA. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter. Hidden Power Podcast. We've been posting a lot more over there. I don't think the platform is ending. I don't think it's going anywhere. So you can follow us here. We're on every other social platform as well. So follow us where you want to follow us.
Twitter has been ending like 8 times. It's not ending.
It's
you
all
know what
good.
I mean?
It's going to be around. But yeah, good to see you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
See ya.
Peace.